This is the example video for horizontal and vertical lines. Okay, so let's start graphing. So let's take a look at number 1. We have x equals 1. So over in the margin here, I'll create my table of values. Okay, so this means x is always going to be 1. So for all my x values, I can just put 1. And now I just need to pick random y values. So since my graph only goes from -10 to 10, I'll plug in -6, -3, 0, 1, and 8. And now I'll just graph these ordered pairs. So 1, -6, I go over 1, and I go down 6. For 1, -3, I go over 1, and I go down 3. For 1, 0, I go over 1, and I stay right on the x-axis. For 1, 1, I go over 1 and up 1. And for 1, 8, I go over 1 and I go up 8. It doesn't matter how many points you plug in. You could have plugged in 2 or 3. That's completely okay with me. I strongly recommend that you plug in more than 1 though. So now I'll connect the points. And I'll finish my line by putting some arrows. So I've got a vertical line where all my x coordinates are 1. Moving on to number 2, I'll create another table of values. And I'm given y equals 9. So I'll put 5 9s here because I like to plot 5 points, just my personal preference. And for my x-coordinates, let's plug in -5, -3, -1, 7, and 9. Again, completely random for my x column. Just tried to keep them in between -10 and 10 because that's as far as my graph stretches. Okay, if you've got a graph that goes, let's say, -100 to +100, you could plug in any number of values for x. So now I'll graph these ordered pairs. So I'll go to -5 and I'll go up 9. I'll go over 3 and up 9. I'll go over 1 and up 9. Now 7, 9, I'm going to the right and up 9. And for 9, 9, I go to +9 on the x-axis and up 9 on the y-axis. And from there, I just connect my points. Leaving me with a horizontal line. Okay, so this is how I recommend you do them to start off. But you'll realize a trend here. Whenever you have x equals, we know we're going to have a vertical line going through that point. Whenever we have y equals, we're going to have a horizontal line going through the given point. Okay, so I'm going to erase and move on. Pause the video if you need more time. And for these next 2 examples, I'm not going to plot a bunch of points. Okay? So I recognize I have y equals -3. I know this will be a horizontal line, and I'm 100% sure of that. So I'll go to -3 on my y-axis, and I can make a point, or I can make a line that goes through that point. Done. Okay. And now at x equals 0, So I've got x equals some number, so I know it's going to be a vertical line, and I know it's going to go through 0, 0, or 0 on the x-axis. So because it's vertical, I will make my line just like this. And that is all I will be looking for. I was asked to graph the horizontal and vertical lines, and I did just that. It helps to have a table of values, especially to clear any confusion, but if you know what you're doing, I'm not going to make you do the table of values. At this time, I would like you to move on to the horizontal and vertical lines practice worksheets.